Saints fans, 1 week out from round one. It's been a dull week at the St Kilda headquarters, but we've had some revelations at the Saints TV headquarters, and obviously you can see if you're viewing, if you're listening, you can't hear it. An absence of yip-yips.
He is alive.
He is alive. He is alive. Marshy's okay. The football's in place of him, so we're not. You know, it does look a little bit tragic. I was trying to put a beanie on the football.
It's flamboyant. It's a flamboyant football, just like Marshy. So it's very fitting.
Correct. It's all there. Marshy has decided to hang up the boots for the Saints TV podcast. And so have I. So it's going to be a new era of Saints TV podcast. We've all had a look at the year to come, and it just seemed almost unachievable to give the time to the podcast that we needed to. And unfortunately, that just means that we have to be putting it in better hands this year. So you'll see some new faces. You'll see some more people coming through the studio doors. Jake, you're going to do an upload?
Yep. I'll still be around. We'll get some applications and get some people through the door to get on. They've got big shoes to fill, obviously, with the two of you boys, and you've done both. I mean, it's weird talking to him as if he's there, but you've both done an amazing job. And I've been very lucky to work with you for the 4 years and to see the channel and the potty grow. It's a testament to not just you individually, but I guess the three of us and how we've worked together and the chemistry that we've had. And it's been a very special experience.
It's been so special.
Sure, all the viewers are going to be devastated, but the show must go on, and the footy will go on.
And you'll still hear our voies at the footy. So
absolutely.
We're not changing allegiance. We're not going off to GWS. We're not waiting for Tassie to come down. We're just we'll be at the Saints games, but and we'll still be cheering as loud as we can. Now, Marshy wasn't able to make it tonight anyway, due to an appointment with Tilly. So we're wishing Marshy all the bloody best.
He's
been an absolute hell of a ride with him. And he's got family commitments to tend to, but we will be hearing still a Marshy's Minute.
Yes,
at the
I can't
end.
wait.
It's going to be great.
So it's going to be a tearjerker.
It is going to be a tearjerker, absolutely. We're going to be laughing and crying all the way through. Brought to you this episode, of course, by Bentley Social. Now, Jake, they've got a new venue up and running in Murrumbeena, I believe.
Yes, they do. The OC Public Bar. So we don't have the Bentley Social Disco going this weekend for the Geelong game, but from 6 o'clock Saturday, round one, big game. Up to 100 in attendance can rock up, go there, drinks, food. It's going to be amazing. It's a new venue, but it's a very, very cool venue. And we want to support them in any way we can. And it's the sister bar of the Bentley Social.
It's the AFLW.
It's still part of the family, isn't it? It's still part of the Saints TV family. So get down there if you can. We'll try and get to the cattery, but if you can't, get down and support the boys in the colours. It's
the Sandringham of the Sandringham Zebras of the Bentley Social world. So get down and support. And of course, we've seen a bit of footy this week.
It's not, I don't know.
Opening round feels weird. No, it feels weird.
It was still like an extended pre-season to me.
It did. It felt like the finals round of the Wizard Cup. Which we did win. The ladder's been released. And
we were there.
We won. We won again. So we are the pre-season champions. And as you said last week, Jakey, if we win it, we finish top 4.
There's a chance. There is a very strong chance.
So we saw, what was it, Thursday night?
Oh, that was a terrible game. That was Sydney-Melbourne.
Sydney-Melbourne,
Tipped Sydney. So I got that in the Saints TV tipping. I tipped Sydney, so I was happy with that. Carlton stuffed me, though. I think Carlton stuffed everyone's tips.
Oh, definitely. I think everyone went with the home teams this week.
Hard not to, especially Brisbane, who I think their record was 24 of the last 30 or something there. And
just ridiculous.
Crazy record, and had a 46-point lead and blew it.
It's crazy. And that's what I took from that game. So I thought over the weekend the performance of Sydney was strong and this is what I looked at. I looked at, okay, what do I think that we've got this season that other teams might not have? And it's legs, it's fitness, it's pace. I thought that Sydney's pace was really good. I thought their entrances inside forward 50 were pretty good as well, which is something that we're working on. So I reckon we'll be neck and neck with Sydney this year. Yeah, I reckon they'll be a very good team.
Melbourne struggled with it, didn't they?
And Melbourne really struggled.
I mean, they've got in terms of contested footy, they're up there, but in terms of run and spread, which was, I guess, their bread and butter maybe 2 years ago. They kind of lost that a little bit. You know, Lockie Hunter, they had these guys running and spreading on the wing. Yeah,
correct. And it was really those two key pillars in Lockie Hunter and Langdon who were doing it all for them.
Yeah, that's it.
You've got to have more than just two wingers running up and down the ground. Yeah. So
JB, he played.
Jack Billings played.
He was the sub.
He was the sub, and he only had one touch when he came on. So he's in new territory there.
Tough.
It is a tough debut for a new club at the SCG. New game style as well for JB.
Yeah.
So, and, you know, the provisions weren't quite there when he came on. You know, he came on to be an impact player, and we know the Jack Billings that we had was one that had to work into the game rather than come on and be on fire.
Yeah.
And then, the Carlton-Brisbane game, that was a really interesting watch to compare the Saints to them. What I saw from Brisbane was they brought the ballistic pace that St Kilda brings.
They did, didn't they? But they couldn't sustain it. They went, put all their eggs in the first two quarters, and after that, gassed. Carlton just kept peppering. And
they were cooked.
Their twin towers, as they call them now, took control of the game.
Yeah, well, that's it. So the thing that held, you know, was impressive from Brisbane in that first half was their delivery into the forward line. It was really silky. And then once that Carlton realised Brisbane's legs were running out, which only really took a quarter and a half, they started to... They love the grind. Carlton loves the grind. They're not a big running team. They're a big contested team.
They almost did exactly what they did to us in a way, because we had that lead. It wasn't 46, but it was 20 odd.
Yeah.
Could have been 46, and it wasn't like they took hold of the entire ground. They just won every one-on-one, every little contest. Even if it gained 5 meters, they just kept getting the ball forward, and then eventually the avalanche kind of happened, and bloody bug.
Bug got you.
Around. It's the heat, man. There's insects everywhere.
Yeah, I know.
Cockroaches are like triple the size. Now look at it.
Yeah,
flying around.
That's the weather up here in
Marshy,
Cairns, isn't it?
take it easy, man.
Yeah. So, what I saw from Carlton is Charlie Curnow's a freak.
Yeah.
But what I saw from Charlie Curnow was I liken, you know, Machito Owens to a lot of people. I liken him a lot to Charlie Curnow.
Really? That's a big call.
And
it's a huge call.
It's a big call, but you also add on to it that he can play midfield minutes, whereas Charlie Curnow doesn't. He plays purely forward.
Yeah.
They have the ability to leave him purely forward because they've got the midfielders that can take care of the job in your Cripps, Kennedy,
who else? Walsh. I mean, he didn't play, but they can put him through there.
Yeah, Walsh.
Hewitt.
Hewitt, he was great. Hewitt was really good, and a raft of other players that go through there.
Yeah.
So I think that when we come up against Carlton, it'll be a great test to see if we can hold that pace and we can control the game for 4 quarters, because they didn't really deal with the pace. They couldn't deal with it. Yeah. They needed it to be a tight and scrappy contest and get it over the line that way.
Yeah. I don't think I took much... Like, I watched most of the games, but there wasn't anything there that stood out to me going... I don't think we can take that, you know? Like, I wasn't fearful of any of the teams.
No. And that's it. That's the great thing about coming into a season is it's like if we dished up the footy that we dished up last year, it should hold us in good stead for this year as well.
They say every team, like, because the preseason, you know, predictions have us 8 to 14 or whatever, and a lot of people put us in that 10 to 12 bracket.
Yeah.
And their reason is because other teams improve. But I mean, it's only one game, and I think most teams looked underdone anyway. Yeah. Which is, again, I think is another reason why the season shouldn't have started the way it did.
Yes.
Brisbane looked cooked.
Yeah.
Collingwood looked cooked.
Yeah.
GWS were outstanding.
Yeah.
You know,
it's also been a very hot week around Australia.
Yeah, like the ball skills were pretty average. It
was pretty lucky that none of the games were in Melbourne.
Well, they would have had to cancel them or something. It was ridiculous.
You know, we had almost 40-degree weather. I'm sure it was just as hot during the day up in Sydney and up in Queensland and everything. So it's I think they'll have to have a good hard look about whether opening round is a good idea, because the teams that lost during that round will look at it and go, no, we don't want that. We can't have that happen again, because that's 4 points on the board.
Yeah, it's huge.
And we still have to play next week.
Yeah.
Like Carlton are playing again on Thursday.
So they're
against Richmond.
It's already nearly there.
Yeah, and it takes all the buzz out of the game. And it's just, I don't think it'll happen again. I think it's a weird idea.
Fingers crossed, because I'm hearing that they're locking that down and they really like it. But I just...
Why not just go smack bang straight into football with...
Round 1, bang.
18
We've
teams
waited
going at it.
6 months anyway.
Yeah.
Why are you now making most of the competition wait another week?
I don't get it.
It's not even a split round.
No.
Even that was a better idea, and I still hated it, but at least it was half-half.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And if Carlton get 8 points on the board...
8 points before we even play.
Oh,
we're in trouble.
Oh, God, it's going to be hell.
Yeah, the lid's off. If it isn't already, it's... Yeah, it's not good.
The bottle's blown as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, and then the GWS Collingwood game, that looked like a classic...
just revenge.
Hangover.
Revenge and hangover mixed into one.
Yeah. GWS were out to prove a point, and Collingwood were out there donning the colours that they wore in a premiership. So it's,
they could also be 0-2 before we even play them, because they've got Sydney at the G this week.
There you go.
They could well be 0-2 at the G Thursday night against the Saners.
Yeah, and if that's the case, then the AFL will scrap opening round. But the thing that I saw from them is it's when you get players that put 100% into making sure that their form is ready for final series, for grand finals, and they play ripper games like your Jordan De Goeys of the world, you will see them drop off the next year. It completely... Well, it'll shake them. And we saw it happen in 2016 with the Dogs and the likes of players like Liberatore. Yeah. The ones that are a bit of a buzz around the club and like to get out and have a bit of fun, they will find it the hardest to work back into what they had, because they've climbed the mountain now. And it's like, okay, well, you're going to stamp your flag there and put another one there next year, or... Are you going to...
You're happy with where you're at.
Are you happy with where you're at? And that's kind of what it looked like on the weekend out of players like De Goey. It kind of looked like he was happy with where he was at, whereas I look at that and go, geez, if they come up against us with that sort of attitude, I'd be very, very happy.
Yeah, absolutely, because there's not one player like that on our... Obviously, we're not coming off any form of success, but everyone's hungry.
But that's the difference, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because in 2021... we did come off a bit of success. We won a final and we, got that monkey off our back. But 2021, 2022 were pretty miserable. And we couldn't switch on mentally. Whereas I think we've got the bloke at the helm in Ross Lyon now that will keep us to our word.
Yeah.
And he'll absolutely launch into this season, as will the boys. So
yeah, I can't wait. Itching for it, mate.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Especially round 1 against Geelong. You'd be itching for it, yeah.
24, 25 years. We haven't beaten them there. It's
time.
It's time. It's time to go. And this is... What a statement. What a statement to go there and get the job done. Yeah. But we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about
we'll get into the Geelong game.
We've got...
Back to our best.
Back to our best. You want to do that? Or
we'll crank it back to our best. Yeah.
Thanks to Mosh. So Mosh are on board, as we know, this year, which is amazing. So make sure you go to www.getmosh.com.au. They're actually offering $50 off their online treatments.
There you go.
So use the discount code SaintsTV, Saints50.
Saints50.
Saints50. It's a bloody tongue twister. Because I've got other discount codes and they're all using that. But yeah, Saints50, $50 off. So check it out. As we all know, you've used it. Great advocate for it.
Yep.
They've got obviously online people that will absolutely put the effort in to make sure that whatever
it's a very smooth process.
It's a very smooth process. The results speak for themselves. So check out their website, getmosh.com.au.
Yeah, and because we don't have a player to reflect on,
we're going to
predict. Jakey.
Well, I'm trying to, because now I'm thinking the lineup, and I'm thinking, I think I've got this actually.
Yeah.
Because Dukes is out, I reckon the Zane dog is going to have a big day.
Yeah.
And he's going to keep... I mean, is he going to play on Hawkins or would he play on... If he
Who knows where he's going to play?
Regardless, I think he's going to be a major part as to why we get the points. Because these sort of games, it's not just the stars that get the job done. It's those... It's the workman-like blokes. And he's one of them.
Yeah, spot on.
So I reckon I'm going to go Cordy.
Going to go Cordy.
I reckon, yeah.
I'm going to go Timmy Membry to kick 3.
Oh, that's...
and be back to his best.
Off the back of the video last week and him
How
talking
good was that
about
video?
his story.
Let's chat about that. That was just like the most open and heartfelt video.
Didn't have to be done. Like, it's his life, but for him
wanted to do it.
Have the courage to sit there and just talk about it
for
3 or 4 minutes, not a 30-second little thing. He really got into it. I thought it was amazing. And
it was incredible. It was great by the Danny Frawley Centre.
It was, yeah.
Centre as well. The questions asked were fantastic. And you got to remember we're a club that supports, all forms of life and the health battles and mental health battles that they go through and that we go through. So do talk up. That's what the message is. Speak up. Don't wait until it gets too late. Make sure you talk to someone. Make sure you can get in touch with the Danny Frawley Centre, which is amazing. They do sessions there every week that you can be a part of. So get in touch with the club. Get in touch with the Danny Frawley Centre. If you're not sure how, go through the website. It'll have a link there. Simply Google Danny Frawley Centre. All that stuff will come up. But I reckon Timmy Membry and Zane Cordy back to their best.
I really like that.
And without further ado, I reckon we get stuck into a Joycey's Choice moment.
Let's do it. Yep.
Joycey's Choice moment of the match. Joycey's Choice moment of the match.
Definitely the best sting, I reckon.
You like that one?
I think I like that one more than almost my own. Yeah. I don't know. Something about it.
Yeah, it's and listeners will get it. If they were in that era. It's Cake. The band Cake, long shirt, it's a short skirt and a long jacket, and the distance.
Yeah.
So it's based on that because I was like, I was listening to a bit of Cake that day, and I was like, I reckon this could be near on the. I love it. So now Joyce's Choice moment of the match. No match to speak of, but it is the last episode that I'll be featuring in, so I'd like to say Joycey's Choice moment of his experiences of in Saints TV. So, of course, along the journey, it's been a solid build. It started where we're
lockdown.
It was a week before lockdown.
Lockdown.
We got together in a studio in Richmond. Not far from where I live now, and we sat in there and we all took turns in.
I know we tried to do.
Being hosts.
I tried to be the host, and I just stuffed it from the time. Nah, Joyce is the guy. He's the guy, 100%.
Yeah. And it was just automatically the dynamic was born because we're all such different people, and
it was perfect.
Yeah, and that's the dynamic that's flourished throughout the past 4 seasons. But I got to tell you, 2023 wasn't
it massive?
Huge.
Like, we couldn't have predicted it to go the way it did.
It was nuts. I was very skeptical about the season coming in and Ross Lyon coming in and the kids coming through and just where we'd be as a football club and a football team. So I kind of sat in the passenger's seat for this one, for that season, and I'm glad I did because I got to see it all. And I got to come along for the ride, and the Saints Footy Club got us really involved, and we were, interviewing players and crashing media events, and so that was like that's something that there's 2 things I've always wanted to do in my life, and that's be a part of St Kilda Football Club and have a difference, and then be a professional musician and have that as my main source of income. In 2023, I ticked both of those boxes.
Good on you,
so feeling very good about it. But the biggest moment for me was when Saints footy was back at Marvel Stadium against Geelong, round 23.
Yes.
And it was just,
it's the aftermath.
It was
kicking the footy at 1 a.m. I think that was that game, wasn't it?
That was that game. So we'd put in a lot of work during the season to get the numbers up.
Yeah.
So There was, Marshy doing his work with Old 29 and getting the chants out.
Yeah, that was fun.
Jake, you were setting up all the interviews and everything like that, and then involvement with the social club, and then putting the differences aside between Old 29 and the cheer squad and getting them to come together.
Yeah, that was huge.
That really made a big difference, and we saw that at the Hawthorn game, and
and the away end.
Yeah. Well,
wasn't really the away end in the end. It was we made it our home game.
We made it our home game, and 9 goals were kicked in that first quarter. So, and I wasn't bloody there. That shattered me. I wasn't there for that. I was at a gig, and I was listening to the radio on the way in, going,
"Bang, goal!
Oh, what is happening?"
Yeah.
Like Hawthorn kicked like the first 3 or something weird, and then we just kicked 9 in a row. We went ballistic. But that was a lot of fun. But as soon as I rocked up, it started getting a bit nerve-wracking because Hawthorn started chipping away. But at the Geelong game, we were on from the start. You could tell as soon as the boys ran out onto the field, it was go time. It was game time. And there were, 44,000 or close to?
It was a
or
good crowd of 40,000?
Yeah, about 40,000. So I remember we knocked the door of 40,000, knocked that down. And
actually, that whole weekend, because then the next day, West Coast beat the Dogs.
Correct.
It couldn't have been a better weekend. And it was my mum's 60th, but it's your thing. But it was a bloody good weekend.
Yeah, and it just completely got rid of the hangover that I woke up with. My ears were ringing from the Old 29 chants. That was...
Yeah, the Mason,
magical.
The Mason Wood one.
The Mason Wood chant, when Rowan Marshall took the big mark at the end, like I was skipping between Old 29 and the cheer squad and putting my whistle where it could be, and had the nice moment with Maxi in the cheer squad where Rowan Marshall kicked the sealer and a big hug, and got to admit I had some tears. I had some tears come down because I was like, this is just such a great moment for the football club. It's such a great moment for us to see the fruits of the seed that we planted.
Yeah.
And then going into finals, and platform 28 that night was big.
That was nuts.
That's
a memory that I'll never forget.
Yeah. So I think that round 2023 was the highlight of my time on Saints TV podcasts. That was
that's
that
awesome.
was the pinnacle, and like I got to meet a lot of my heroes, and I got to interview Jack Steele, which was great. But I think it was just the fan experience.
Yeah, always. That's That's the first feeling, always, isn't it?
Yeah, it was mental. So going from the social club to Old 29 to the cheer squad, and it was just Saints footy for 4 quarters, and it was bloody brilliant. And I'll never forget that. I'll never forget any of the memories that we've established here, because I haven't had any knocks to the head during football during these times.
No
so
concussions.
I've kept it. Yeah, exactly. I've prioritised it, but it's been absolutely amazing, and I want to say a huge thank you to the fans and everyone for just how welcoming they are when we're out in public, and how much love there is for this, but not only this, as a total, the football club. So it's a big part of it, and the biggest part of it, and it's awesome. But before I get too emotional, I reckon it's about time.
What is it? What's the time for?
To crack in
to
a bit
of
Jakey's Junk Mail.
Yeah.
Jakey's Junk Mail. Jakey's Junk Mail. Jakey's Junk Mail. Jakey's Junk Mail.
Delightful. The voice of Joyce will remain on the podcast.
I was thinking, I'm like, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's just going to flow forever. This one's from Luke. He's saying, hoping the potty can help me with the super coach team name. It has to be Saints based. I wanted sucking fainters. Switch the first letters, but say it carefully, and it wasn't accepted. Any ideas are appreciated.
Oh, damn, I like that one.
I know, I'm like...
Yeah. And we got to leave Mason's Wood as is, because Maddie's got Mason's Wood.
Yeah, no one touches that. That's copyright.
Yep.
That's his. He owns that. Off the top of my head.
Oh, God.
I mean, One Flag Wonders was pretty good.
One Flag Wonders, yeah. God, God, it's hard to be put on the spot with this sort of
I know.
stuff.
This is something Marshy would be good at.
Yes.
What do you reckon, mate? Yeah, all right.
Ball slowly deflates.
Yeah, I should have had that where it's like on a game show and you hit the thing. Yip yip.
Yeah, hit the buzzer.
I've got a. We'll have to think on that. Yeah. If anything pops out, we'll shout it out loud.
Yeah. What about people sending their suggestions?
Yeah, send them in, Sanders. We'll flick them over to Luke, and I'm sure he'll be very happy with that.
Yeah.
Tim's asking, how brave will we be with the kids this season? Mr. Darcy is a shoo-in for round 1. Ari is a chance too. Yeah, I know. Garcia and Collard will get runs during the season, as may Hasty, Houghton, Keeler, Gus, and maybe even Allison. Ooh. Keeler, Allison, I'm still not sure. They're still quite raw. It'd take a lot of injuries, I reckon.
Yeah.
Houghton, maybe. Hasty, definitely.
Yeah.
I think Keeler and Allison, just being the two taller, they take longer to develop. And
yeah, same with Heath.
We've got positions covered, where they play.
Yeah. I love Mr. Darcy, though. That's
Mr.
funny.
Darcy.
Mr. Darcy.
That's the new merch, I reckon. Jessica's asking, what do you think our backline will look like for the next few rounds? I mean, Ari could surprise this week. We could do both a double debut. We could do that.
Yeah, because he didn't look out of depth on the AFL field and took 11 marks.
And we said he is surprisingly quite big for his age already. Yeah. So I wouldn't... And, I mean, Battle's a test, but I think he should be fine.
Yeah, I think... Battle will play, yeah.
I wouldn't be against Ari.
Neither would I. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. Holly's asking a nice simple one. Where will Saints finish this year? We haven't really given our...
Yeah.
We kind of avoided that, I think, last year.
Yeah, I reckon we'll do that. Who was that from?
That's from Holly.
Thanks, Holly. Yeah, I reckon we'll do that one at the end. Jezza
reckons we're going to have 6 All-Australians this year. Sinks, King, Steele, Naz, Wilkes and Wood.
That would be nice.
6 All-Australians.
That would be nice.
Wow.
And if you get 6 All-Australians in the All-Australian team, chances are you're in a grand final.
Yeah.
That's the way it is. That was the same as Collingwood last year.
4+ in your top 4.
Correct. Yeah.
How does it feel? Okay, so this is Isaac. He says, how does it feel to be the best entertainment superstar of the St Kilda Army for the culture? I mean, the best entertainment superstar of the St Kilda Army for the culture. I mean, I guess we do what we do.
That's I don't think we view it as that.
No, I mean, I've never even thought about the word entertainment when we do what we do.
Oh, I definitely have.
Yeah,
I'm just
definitely. There's a camera and you we just do what we enjoy.
Spit it out.
Like if the cameras weren't there, it still would go the same way.
Yes, definitely.
Put anything on, but I appreciate that anyway.
That's nice. Yeah. But I was going to say the entertainment comes, I think, naturally.
Yeah.
The
entertainment is we all love the club, and when you watch, you just want to hear more about the club or learn something about the club.
The club is heroin for us.
Absolutely.
It is. Yeah. It is so bad for us, but so good. Yeah. It feels so good.
This one's from Jaron. He said 3 players you'd like to target for next season, realistically or dream situation, either one. 3 players.
Oh, God. I haven't even thought that far ahead. Have you?
Not really. I mean, I don't even know. I mean, dream situation, hypothetically. I still think Bailey Smith could be nice, depending on how his situation goes. Because I know we were kind of semi-linked to him.
Christian Petrarca. Time to settle the score.
And another key back. Has to be a full back.
I was going to say big centre half back.
Big centre half back, yeah. I don't know if there's any available at the moment.
Yeah, no, it would be someone like a Himmelberg or
something like that. This one's from Timmy. If we get the win against Geelong, you lads going to be hitting up Lammy's Tavern afterwards. Lammy's. I haven't actually...
We aren't familiar with Geelong territory.
Yeah, actually, at school, everyone did go to Lammy's.
Lammy's Tavern
and everyone
afterwards.
said that it was just like, if you were in year 12 and it was like you're an 18-year-old guy.
Yeah.
You'd go there and you'd 99% of the time guaranteed end up like flirting with like a 45-year-old. It's like if you want to go there and
All the Cougars are at
All the
Lambie's.
Cougars are at Lambie's. That's what
Yeah.
I was told. Yeah,
Cougars hunting little lammies.
I've
you
never
reckon?
been there myself.
Yeah.
But I've heard on the
Yeah,
grapevine.
you've
that,
heard stories.
I've heard stories that.
Oh, come
yeah,
on, Jake.
If you want to,
What was her name? Wasn't old mate
Hey, old mate.
that sends in questions?
Bloody hell, I've forgotten the name.
Why has this escaped
Watson,
me?
Haley Watson.
Haley Watson.
Haley
Was
Watson?
it Haley
Nah,
Watson?
nah. Where are you, Haley? This is from Victoria. When Jack Hayes is fit, how does he slot in? Really want to see him back on the park.
It's so funny that, like, when I was talking about big centre half back, that he actually popped into my head.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see if he's got the wheels for something like that. But I wouldn't put it past him. I wouldn't put it past Jackie Hayes to be plonked in a bit of a Sam Fisher role.
Yeah?
Yeah, because like
Shit. I mean, he's good by foot.
he's good by
For a
foot
big
and his
boy.
hands are brilliant.
His hands are brilliant.
So it'd just be
Yeah.
a matter of pace, I think, if he could run with the centre half forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one's from Brett. We should start doing "Oh When the Saints" chant. Listen to the Spurs faithful. It's epic. Apparently Tottenham are doing that, and I think they're also doing.
What are they
Angels.
doing?
Angels, I think. You know, the
Robbie
Robbie
Williams.
Williams song. Like
Oh,
what we
there you
did?
go. Well, that's so funny. Like my best mate's just moved over to London and got a job at Tottenham, so
Really?
I've got inside access. I'll have an ask. But
wonder-
he's doing "Oh When the Saints."
He's suggesting we should start doing "Oh When the Saints" chant. Listen to the Spurs faithful. It's epic.
Oh, and they do an "Oh When the Saints."
No,
chant,
they're
I guess.
Spurs. Maybe they do "Oh When the Spurs Go Marching." I'm not
Yeah,
sure. I'm not
could
sure
be.
what the reference is, but yeah.
Research needs to be done. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Are we still going to do Angels? Do you think that should change or stick with that?
Nah, stick with it. I
Yeah?
reckon. Yeah. It was our mate Brycey that came up with that idea and put it in and brought back as well. The Saints are coming.
Yes,
That was his
the-
exiting gift.
That was one of the biggest
Yeah.
ticks that when we
so he implemented that back in, or he brought it back and he implemented Angels at the end of the game, and I was like, oh, you've ticked all the boxes.
Yeah.
This is what we want. Yeah.
we'll end it on. Okay, we'll end it on Kobe. He said Saints beat. This will link us to the preview. Saints beat Geelong at Geelong ? That's the final junk mail. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you for sending it in.
But yes, I think we will beat Geelong in Geelong for the first time in
I reckon
since
it's time.
1999. I think.
Yep.
Since
I
I
reckon
was a
it's time.
baby. Yeah.
And if it's not time, then I'll be a little bit disappointed.
Yeah.
No, we should be
We're primed.
really knocking down the door of
Absolutely.
that. How did they... I really paid, and I should have paid more attention, but I didn't pay much attention to Geelong's pre-season.
It was
now I know they
mixed
came up
bag.
against they came up against Essendon and they won by 2 goals.
Yes. And they were down for a lot of that game. I think Essendon were up.
Oh, okay.
They kind of stormed home, I think.
Oh, yeah. There you
But
go.
they
Well, the
played
worm went up
Carlton.
and then it came down, and yeah,
They played Carlton the game before,
yeah,
and they beat Carlton, and Carlton looked semi-average. But
Oh,
Carlton
yeah,
lost
that's
both
right.
brackies, so
yeah,
not much to read into it, I don't think.
yeah. So
But very handball happy as usual.
yeah,
A lot of overlap, or at least attempting to get a bit more leg speed on, because they kind of lost that last year. They were a bit slow,
Yeah.
and we made them look slow.
yeah.
But I still think their main
They've still got guns.
their
at the
main
helm.
target is Hawkins, Cameron,
Yep.
Henry, obviously now. So
Yep. Henry Stingle.
Stanley will be in the ruck.
Yeah, Stanley.
Danger.
That's what I'm looking forward to. Is Rowan Marshall giving Stanley?
That's a
bath.
big one, and then put Owens in the guts on Danger. And
Yeah.
we're golden.
And the players that gave Geelong the biggest headaches were actually their 4 or 5 best players. So, and that was in the midfield. And that's what we know about Essendon, is that they're a dominant midfield. So, if we can...
Oh, we can definitely get at their midfield. It's not what it was.
Yeah, exactly. So, they had Martin on the wing running amok, which could be our Wood, it could be our
Could be our
Henry,
Wilson.
could be our Wilson, could be our Hill.
Burnsy.
We've got all those runners, Parrish, Setterfield, McGrath and Merritt. So their midfielders really gave them a tough time. And I don't know, it's going to be a learning curve, because I don't want to say that we'll dominate them in the midfield and everything like that, and then go, oh shit, I forgot about how good this player is. Like, Tanner Brun might be on fire.
I mean, they won the flag.
Yeah,
by
exactly.
80 points 2 years ago, less than 2 years ago. So
yeah,
and it's on their home deck. So regardless of where they are on the ladder or where we think they're going to finish, it is their home ground.
It's such a good test.
They're opening up the new Selwood stand, so it's going to be an even bigger crowd. Mm-hmm. And most of our team has never played there. Think about it. A lot of our team has never played at the Cattery.
Very true.
Well, I mean, we played there, 2022? Late 20... That's when we kicked the first 5 and then lost. Do you remember that? And Kingy...
That's right.
Kingy started like a house on fire and then got injured.
Yes, yeah.
And then we coughed it up late.
That's right, yeah.
But, in terms of like...
Teams very
Owens
different now.
And Filippo and Wilson who will be playing. And
yeah. And the thing with the Geelong ground is they have the biggest home ground advantage in the league.
Oh.
And
it's so narrow.
There's
no wings.
There is no wings. So that's where you have to look at your wingers and go, okay, how are you going to play? You're going to be in the contest a lot more than you'd like to be.
Yeah.
So that's where it bodes well for us that Mason Wood is a very good mark.
Yeah.
It bodes well for us that Hill is a good crummer, as is Henry.
Does that mean that Kingy... do you think mean that Kingy's now going to have to push up quite a bit more?
I would.
Or is that a Roe Marshall?
I think that will be up to... Membry and Sharman.
Sharman, yeah.
You've got to remember how good Sharman was against Tom Stewart.
He's done it twice.
Yeah.
He's played against Geelong twice, and he's been a huge factor both
Massive.
times we've beaten them.
Yeah, so those pack marking situations where Tom Stewart usually dominates is where those boys need to get on top of it.
Yeah.
And the wingers really need to be crumbing under the feet. I reckon we'll be looking at a lot of vision of Fremantle, because I think the past 2 years in a row, even in Geelong's premiership year, they've beaten Geelong in Geelong.
Their rebound, the way they rebound off half-back, that's the template.
Yeah, and it's a tough task, and it's one that, a lot of out on the falls happen and everything like that, but you've got to make the ground look big. You've got to spread, hold space, run into space, kick lead. Yeah, which I will say, the wind at Moorabbin has helped us. Yeah, because the wind at Moorabbin makes whatever section of Moorabbin you're going down, it makes it tighter and it makes it skinnier because the wind is going to push the ball into that section.
Yeah. So
you have to do a lot of the running before you receive.
Yeah.
Rather than receive and a lot of running, So, and that's what we built our game off is receive and do a lot of running.
Yeah.
Whereas I think we need to do both. We need to receive and run, but also run to receive.
Yeah.
And that'll open up our forward line a lot better for this year too.
And it's a good test of just intimidation, anytime, anywhere. Ross's motto that it's been forever.
Yep.
It's going to be daunting.
Yeah. JWS set the blueprint for that, didn't they, last year? Yeah, just anytime, anywhere. And we were a victim of it.
Yeah.
At the MCG,
Yeah, I mean, you've got 95% of the crowd and it didn't matter.
Nah, not at all. And it didn't matter that it's on the MCG. It doesn't matter
against Collingwood in the prelim.
Correct.
They should have won.
They took it to them.
So we need to take that mentality to every game. And I mean, to be fair, our first 2 games are essentially that. Geelong and Collingwood at the G. Yeah. Outnumbered. It's going to be ominous again, intimidating, coming up against the reigning premiers. We need to have that steel about us.
Yes.
In this game.
Yeah. So, and speaking of steel, he'll play a massive role. And I thought that his preseason game showed how far he's come in terms of leadership on ground and
his body. He's getting more trust in that.
He's getting more, no strapping.
9 tackles in that second pracky, so when he's laying tackles, that he's 100% comfortable in his body.
Correct. When he's laying tackles like that, but also getting possession.
100%.
And he got 25 disposals, I think, that game. And that's what you want to see. He might not be knocking down the door of 30 disposals every week, but if it's 20 to 25 and almost 10 tackles or above that, it's like, okay, there's the guts of you.
That's the steal from 2 years ago that we missed.
Correct. Yeah. And that's the glue of the midfield that made 09 and 10 so good through Lenny Hayes.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't constantly having those 30-plus games. It was the 20 to 25.
A lot of tackles, a lot of pressure,
tackles,
and a lot of heart.
A lot of heart.
If we're going to go there and win,
yeah,
it's you can't go there and win without heart.
Correct.
Without being ballsy with the ball.
Yeah.
With the ball and without the ball, to be honest.
Yeah, and taking on the contest.
And that's it. Yeah. Taking on the game.
Yeah, so I'm bloody excited.
Would you tip us?
Yeah, I've already tipped us.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, already tipped us. We won't be the favourites, but that's okay.
Nah.
The history says we shouldn't be the favourites there, but we're here to rewrite history and do things
I think
like
we're
that.
only not favourites because it's at the Cattery.
Correct.
If it was at Marvel, I think the odds would have been
in our favour.
In our favour or level.
Definitely in our favour based on last season and pre-season. So it'll be a ripping contest either way.
It's going to be awesome.
Come out strong.
Yeah.
I'm so keen for Saints footy to be back. I think... it's time.
It's time.
It's time for a Marshy's minute for the count in. And he's left us a nice little message to all the Saints fans and to us just about how he's approaching the year. So here we go.
Marshy's minute. Marshy's minute. Marshy's minute. Marshy's minute.
Oh, yip, lads and listeners. Sorry I couldn't be there to say cheerio tonight on the potty, but just wanted to thank every listener out there for tuning into this dulcet drawl. It's been good fun, and I've loved the opportunities and just the connections we've made by doing this. So, whether that be at the footy, at the Bentley socials, at the platform, wherever Saints footy is, it's been unreal and something that, I'm going to look back on fondly. This year's going to be massive for the Isle, so really need to, harness the energies and get things happening in that space. So, might be gone from the potty, but, it certainly ain't out of Moorabbin. Thanks again, and, look forward to seeing what this season can bring. It's going to be huge. So, take care. Love yous. Up the Sainers.
In standard Marshy fashion. And the love goes back to you, Marshy.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he found a quiet place to
It's not like him. It's not like him.
No, because there's always Tilly going off in the background, or his little dog, or
singing.
Or singing or something like that. Yep. So thanks, Marshy. We love you, mate. And it's been an absolute pleasure doing this all. As I said, this will be the last episode as us three. But Saints TV podcast will continue. If you're interested, make sure you get in touch with Jakey through Saints TV. Send a message on Instagram, Facebook.
If you're the next Joycey and you're the next Marshy.
That's it. If you've got the voice, if you've got the time, and if you've got the heart
passion.
for it.
It's the passion.
It's the passion. Yep. So that's what really comes through. It's been an absolute bloody pleasure doing it all. It's been a dream come true for me to be involved in some Saints media, and the ride continues. I don't know where it'll go. I've got some things I need to tick off my list in terms of music and other ventures as well. But it's been an absolute awesome time in here as part of the podcast, and I will miss coming in here every Monday and bothering the inbox as well, because as I've said before, I don't have a lot of mates that go for St Kilda, but I feel like from this podcast and from what we've established, I do now. So I've got plenty of people I can talk to and send messages to as well, and it's just been an absolute. Again, it's been a pleasure, and I can't wait to meet more of you throughout the year at Saints footy, and red, white and black blood runs through me, and it will continue to run just as hard, and the heart will continue to beat just as loud for the Saints. So I will go marching in, I will go marching on, and in the end, when there's success, at St Kilda.
Oh, we'll all be together. We'll all be.
We'll be making the most noise.
Wherever the noise takes us. That's
right.
where we'll be. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll follow the noise, and yeah, it's been awesome. So, without further ado,
mate, it's been awesome. I just want to say, Marshy couldn't be here, but he's just such a unique person. He's I don't think I've ever met a Sainter like him in terms of his passion, in terms of just even in the AFL world, the chance, like he's really brought that back.
Yeah.
You know, you see a few other clubs trying to do it, and I don't think anyone can do it like him.
No, he certainly has unique ideas, doesn't he? Him and his old man,
his brother,
Dino's
been on the show. They're all just characters, and it's been awesome to have him on, and yourself as well, mate. It's been a pleasure, and hopefully your music goes really well. And
thank you.
And it's sad.
It is sad. Yeah, it's a sad moment.
We'll continue on.
And we'll be at every Saints game still, and we're always up for a chat, if not even more now, up for a chat about Saints footy. So I won't be there round 1, but I will be there round 2. So
at the G.
If we brush shoulders, make sure you lay a bit of hurt into it as well. Or as always, up the Sainers.
Up the Sainers.
Yeah.
I really love my Saints footy, and I love the feeling, so does the family. Oh yeah, Saints footy, Saints footy, Saints footy, Saints footy, Saints footy, Saints footy, Saints footy.